Hey, what's going on, guys? Andy Brew here, bringing you my personal review of Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I saw a bunch of other people do reviews of the game, and I figured since I love the series so much, and I really had a great time playing the game, I want to give my opinion and my review of the game. Kingdom Hearts 3 is an amazing game. It did a lot of things really well, and it did a lot of things not really so well. So I've decided that I'm going to give 7 pros and 7 cons of Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know that this is my review of the game, so this is going to be my opinion. So if you agree with it, amazing, and if not, that's okay too. I totally get it. And before we continue this video, just to warn you guys, there will be potential spoilers. Now, I like to end my videos on a more positive note, so I'm going to start with the cons first. And my first con of Kingdom Hearts 3 is the pacing of the story. Throughout the entire game, we were getting fed like breadcrumbs of the story, just like little bits and pieces here and there, but there really wasn't a middle section, I should say. Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, they had the whole middle section where you go and you fight the 1,000 Heartless, and then there was all kinds of story content in that section. But for Kingdom Hearts 3, we didn't really have that. We just kind of had slow pacing. We got fed little breadcrumbs here and there of a story, and then they saved all the big stuff towards the end. I think it would have been really cool if we got to save Aqua maybe towards like the middle of the game, then a few worlds later we got to save Ventus, and then we get into the Keyblade War. I think that would have been a little bit of better pacing, but again, it just felt like the pacing was just off, if that makes sense. This kind of leads me into my next con, which is the lack of story content. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the story of Kingdom Hearts. I loved the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, I really did. But it just felt like there was something missing in the story. It felt like there wasn't as much deep content as there was in previous Kingdom Hearts titles. And again, that's just me, but again, I loved it. I loved the story, but I just feel like, again, there could have been more story-driven stuff in the game. Number 3 is the lack of variety in playable characters. Now, this is not a huge con for me. This one I'm kind of like, I'm pretty okay with because I love playing as Sora and I love that. But when I saw that we got to play as Riku, I thought we were going to get to like explore the Dark World as Riku, and but we only get to play as Riku twice, and it's only for a couple boss fights. And and it was really cool to play as Aqua that one time fighting Vanitas, but I just kind of was expecting more whenever they said multiple playable characters in the game. Like, I would have loved to play as Roxas fighting Xemnas when Roxas returns. Like, that would have been amazing. I would have loved to play as Kairi or Lee. Oh my gosh, playing as Kairi or Lee when they're training. That would have been so fun to actually see that and actually experience that and actually play as those characters. It would have been super cool. It would have been great to play as Ventus for a little bit. Again, not a huge con of mine, but I would have liked to see a bigger variety of playable characters since we did get to play as different characters other than Sora. Con number 4 is the lack of original worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. We only got to actually go around and experience and explore Twilight Town and the Keyblade Graveyard a little bit, and to be honest, it was kind of disappointing. Twilight Town was super small. The only areas that you could go to were the Tram Common, the woods, and just the outside of the mansion. I just thought Twilight Town could have been so much bigger. Like, I would have loved to go to Station Heights. I would have loved to go to the Sandlot. Even the tunnels, that would have been super cool. Now that I can scale buildings as Sora, I would have loved to scale the clock tower. That would have been so fun while running up the clock tower, but we didn't really get that. Twilight Town was super disappointing for me. And we have Radiant Garden in the game, and we have Destiny Islands in the game, but we don't really get to go to those worlds. We just kind of see them in cutscenes. I would have loved to actually explore those worlds. Those are pretty big parts of the Kingdom Hearts series that we just didn't really get, and so it was kind of disappointing for me of the lack of actually getting to experience some of the original worlds in this game. Con number 5 for me is Attraction Flow. Attraction Flow is a combat mechanic in the game where you can summon Disney rides to aid you in battle. Now, when you first use Attraction Flow, when you first use like the teacups or the pirate ship or whatever, it does look super cool. It's like, okay, this is amazing. This looks amazing. But to be honest, Attraction Flow was kind of annoying. Attraction Flow kind of ruined the flow of combat for me, and to be honest, after I used Attraction Flow for like the first time to see what each attraction was all about, I didn't really use it at all throughout the rest of the game unless it was like a dire emergency. So yeah, con number 6 on this list, and I hate to say it, but it's true, is Kairi. I feel like Nomura had an amazing opportunity to develop her character, to utilize her more, but to be honest, it still felt like that she really wasn't used that well. In my opinion, she is one of the most poorly written characters in the franchise, and I was really disappointed to kind of see that we still didn't really get much of Kairi, even in the final battle portion of the game. Now finally, my last and final con of this game was, it was too easy. I played Kingdom Hearts 3 on Proud Mode, and this isn't me saying like, oh my gosh, I'm amazing at this game, but to be honest, it was really, really easy even on Proud Mode. I didn't really have a challenge in the game until like the final boss, and even I only really died one time. And the secret boss only took me 2 attempts to defeat. It was challenging, but it was not, like the secret boss was not that, it was very underwhelming is what I'm trying to say. Now, before I move on to the pros of the game, I want to just point out one thing that I was kind of up and down about. Like, I really liked it, but at the same time, it was, I have some mixed opinions about it, is the combat. I love the combat. I love the Keyblade transformations. They were so cool. I thought the combat was very fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was very enjoyable. But again, it just kind of felt like and I feel like most Kingdom Hearts games have this problem, but just spamming X and hitting triangle when I need to hit triangle. And the combat did kind of feel a little bit floaty, and again, that's not like a huge problem for me, but it was definitely, again, going along with the game felt too easy. Now, moving on to the pros in the game. My first pro, and I think that everybody can agree on this one, is that it looks amazing! This game looks so beautiful. The Disney worlds look beautiful. The people, the characters look amazing. The stained glass at the beginning of the game looks amazing. The water textures look amazing. Everything looks amazing about this game. And when it comes to the best looking Kingdom Hearts game, Kingdom Hearts 3 by far takes the cake on that one. Number 2 on my pro list is world exploration. I absolutely love the exploration in this game. The worlds were so vast. I absolutely loved the Disney worlds. They were so fun. Honestly, the exploration was probably one of the biggest challenges in the game if you're a completionist like myself. I loved hunting the lucky emblems. I loved how vast the worlds were, and I really enjoyed the exploration. I really enjoyed running around, just looking at everything and finding new treasure and stuff like that. And I loved photo mode. Photo mode was so fun. Number 3 for me personally is gummy ships. I loved the gummy ships in this game. I loved the open world 360 aspect of flying into the, I think it's called the Oceans Between, I'm not really sure, but just flying around in the gummy ship and exploring. And even the combat in the gummy ship felt really, really fun. Fighting the bosses, especially the Omega Machine in the gummy ship, was amazing, and I personally had a good time in the gummy ship, and to be honest, this was probably my favorite Kingdom Hearts game with gummy ships, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Pro number 4 on this list is the soundtrack. Oh my goodness, the soundtrack is beautiful. I love that they took a bunch of themes from across the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise and rearranged them and just made them sound really like they were already amazing, but they sound even more amazing rearranged, and it was awesome to see all those themes incorporated. The soundtrack for the Disney worlds were amazing. They were so good. I loved every single one of them. They were so fun to listen to. And they felt natural to their respective worlds, which was amazing. But honestly, one of my favorite things about the soundtracks was the medleys that they did for the final battles. The Roxas and Xion battle medley, when Roxas and Xion come back when you're fighting Saix, was beautiful. The medley when you're fighting Ansem, Xemnas, and young Xehanort, it's a medley of all of their themes, and it sounds amazing. And just the soundtrack blew me away. In my opinion, Kingdom Hearts 3 has the best music in the entire franchise. My 5th pro on this list is the chemistry between Sora, Donald, and Goofy. I loved how they interacted with each other. I loved how they interacted with the Disney characters. I loved the banter between all of them. It was really fun. It actually felt like they were friends, you know? They were goofing off, they were messing with each other, and it just felt really, really natural, and I really, really loved that a lot. And I think that's something that Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm really glad that they really emphasized that chemistry between that trio, because Donald and Goofy have been traveling with us from the start, you know? Number 6 on this pros list is the Keyblade War in the final battle. Oh my goodness, from the time that we saved Aqua to the Keyblade War itself to the final battle was honestly one of like the greatest video games I've ever played in my life. It was so fun for me. I loved the Keyblade War itself. I loved the fact that we got to fight bosses in pairs, in groups. Like, we got to fight 3 bosses at the same time. I loved fighting Marluxia, Larxene, and Luxord at the same time. I love fighting Vanitas and Terranor with Ventus and Aqua at the same time. And if I'm being real, one of my favorite battles in the entire franchise has got to be fighting Ansem, Xemnas, and young Xehanort all at the same time. 3 major antagonists of the franchise, fighting them all at the same time is crazy, and it's so intense. And man, honestly, one of the greatest fights that I've ever experienced in Kingdom Hearts. Now, I really did enjoy the final battle with Xehanort as well, but honestly, the best part of it for me was the actual war, fighting like all these bosses in pairs. Xehanort's final boss wasn't as explosive as other Kingdom Hearts finales, but it was still great. It was still good, and I still really liked it. But I will say, the Keyblade War itself was honestly one of the best parts of the game. And finally, my last and final pro of this game was the epilogue. I really enjoyed the epilogue. I really enjoyed the Luxu reveal at the end of Xigbar ending up being Luxu. That is crazy to me. I love that they're leading into this next saga with the foretellers. The foretellers are going to have a much bigger role, and we still don't know what's in the box. Like, what the heck? It just made me want more of the game, more of the story, and I really am excited to see where they're going to go with the foretellers and the Master of Masters and Luxu, and how Sora's going to be incorporated with that, and also the rest of the gang, how they're going to be incorporated as well. Overall, I really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3. Does it have its flaws? Oh yes. It definitely has a lot of flaws. It definitely has a lot of things that it could have done better, but what's really important is that if I enjoyed it or not, and yes, I loved it. I had so much fun. I would give Kingdom Hearts 3 a solid 8 out of 10. But anyways, guys, that is my personal review of Kingdom Hearts 3. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content in the future. I'm definitely going to be streaming some more games in the future, and I'm really excited about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm Andy Bru, and I'll see you guys later.